Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to this show. Y'all thought we were done. We're just getting started, baby. With scouting reports, we got Blake Corum, Michigan running back, and this running back class is very interesting. Who's going to be the top dog? Who's going to be the best one? It's got none of the elite top-end talented running backs that we're usually seeing coming out of college football, but there's a lot of quality running backs that could carve out a good 5 to 10 year NFL career out of them, no question, and Blake Corum is definitely one of these guys you got to watch out for because he is extremely talented. So let's talk Blake Corum, Michigan Wolverines. Let's go. By the end of this, I do realize a lot of y'all will like the comp that I do have for a Blake Corum, and it's in similar likeness. It's not necessarily, comp for comp, but you got to find ways to at least make you guys understand what these players do extremely well. Blake Corum is a very talented running back. There is some issues in his game that he can round out, but he is very good and should, be extremely reliable in the NFL. There is no question in my mind. So let's talk those measurables. As always, 5'8", 205 put together. No question, 23 years of age on the older ascents for the running back spot. 45 games, 675 in attempts, 37 in yards, a good 5.5 on the average, a nice 58 touchdown rushes, man. He has 56 receptions, 411 in yards, and another 3 touchdowns in the receiving game. So over 60 touchdowns in his collegiate career is nothing to sneeze at. Blake Corum definitely has a nose for that end zone, and he is going to challenge to be that guy for an offense. Is he a true 3-down back? We'll see. I got the answers for you. So let's talk about those pros. Compact frame, small but very tough and strong. Put up what? I think he had like 21, 27 on the bench. He's a very physical running back, man. A lot of people saying it's like MJD style, Maurice Jones-Drew. I see it more differently, like a Kyren Williams type of running back where he could be even stronger than Kyren, but very compact in that same sense. Didn't run necessarily the best 40 time, but speed is good enough on the tape. 5.43 on the 40. It's good enough, man. Everyone was criticizing Kyren Williams for going, 4.8 on the 40? That Blake Corum definitely has some beat in this sense. And look what Kyren Williams is able to do on the field. We're going to see very similar likeness out of a Blake Corum when we're talking about how he runs the football. Speed is definitely good enough. Accelerators over the burst for me, okay? When you're talking burst and acceleration, it's either your shot out of a cannon gives you the burst, or if it's 1-2-step accelerators to keep you going with your speed. That's the difference I see. There isn't necessarily great burst. Others say there is. I don't see it in this man. It is more accelerators over the burst for me. Great change of direction, man. Pause and burst is definitely there in the open field. When we're talking about accelerators over the burst, it is from the backfield. In the open field, definitely it's quicker when he makes the pause step and he does go to the side. The burst is there in that sense. So when people say that it's burst in his game, maybe you're putting both together when you shouldn't, because they are separate entities in their game for sure. But change of direction, pause and burst definitely is very good in a Blake Corum. Sound elusive ability, the feet, man. And if you watch his pro day, the feet were on display. It's what you want to see in the bag drills. Do the feet move exceptionally quick? No lost movement, and then change of direction, and he does this extremely well. The elusive ability in the open field is sound, and he has got some of the quickest feet in this draft class, no question, at the running back spot. Very good. Pauses defenders with that lateral shake. Agility, you gotta love it, man. He definitely makes people miss, man. Puts them on skates, definitely breaking ankles. You do like that about his game. Is he Shady McCoy? And the Shady's kind of the standard, like Barry Sanders was when it came to agile movements and shiftiness. He's not in that sense, but he is so good in it that he's able to make guys miss. He's able to pause. That shake and juke move is just ridiculous, especially when he gets into the open field. Very good in that sense. Jump cuts, side cuts are extremely strong, especially from the backfield. It helps aid him in his vision and finding the cutback lane awareness. Definitely there on point for a Blake Corum. I love that about his game. When you see a running back who is trying to find the hole, find the vision, you're either looking for the patience or do they hit the hole extremely sound and hard. you see the jump cuts, the side cuts to find these holes for Blake Corum. The cutback lanes are always there. He's looking for them, and he finds them. Very good in that sense as well. Great break tackle, yards after contact, and I mean fantastic contact balance. What else can you say? Everything that you see when he does take on contact, he is going to be able to keep going downfield. Fall forward is what you want. Yes, we saw some games where he did get stifled behind the line. Even when we saw early on in the national championship game, he was being stifled just a little bit more, where the Edwards kid was taking off with his speed, and then as the game wore on, we saw Blake start to get his groove and find open lanes. But, I mean, yards after contact is definitely there, and the body balance just supreme in this man. He's going to take punishment, and he's still going to keep going. Very good in that sense as well. Hands are good enough for me. Didn't see I wanted to see more, I guess. I don't want to say I didn't see enough, because he did have enough receptions to say that his hands are good enough. I think that he is one of these guys that is definitely capable to be that true three-down back in this league. He can catch, he can run, and he can find his way into the end zone. He is a natural team leader, man. He went back to the Wolverines to go after that natty, and he did it. They succeeded. And everything paid out, man. He is that true leader you're looking for at the running back spot. He is one of these more mature prospects that can be taken notice of. I do like the leadership capabilities from a Blake Corum without question, man. He can carry a sizable workload. So that's why you're saying, can he be a true three-down running back in this league? 250 touches? Without question, he's going to do this, and he can be trusted, man. When you're talking 265 to 275 when it comes to adding receptions into his game, absolutely. Is he going to likely be part of a tandem, two-headed monster in the NFL? Perhaps, and I think that's probably the better way to do it, because you keep him healthy, keep him fresh, and he's going to be able to exploit defenses that way. But 250 touches in the backfield through the receiving game, absolutely Blake Corum can handle that without question. And like I said, TD machine, man, 56 TDs in the last 3 years. Finding the end zone absolutely is stellar. That's just on the ground too, man, not in the receiving game. So like I said, resembles something of a Kyren Williams with a little bit more power and strength. You do like that a lot. 5'8", 205. He is somebody to absolutely covet in the running back position, but he's got some cons, some negatives we got to discuss. Undersized height is definitely there, man. 5'8" is not prototypical. He is on the smaller end, but he is compact, and he does make it work. We've seen guys 5'7", 5'8", 5'9". They are able to make it in the NFL. You know, the cusp is you're kind of looking 5'9" to 5'11" for your running backs. Anything above that, they're a little bit more upright running style. But his compact frame definitely is going to save him in that sense, because he is like a pinball out there taking punishment. But we got to say, undersized height is definitely on tap, man. He doesn't have the elite wheels. Like I'm saying, the 4.53 on the 40 time. He can break away. We've seen him do it, but it's not necessarily, the whole point of what I'm saying about how he gets his touchdowns. He doesn't necessarily do this all the time. I think there was only like 2 to 4 long breakaway touchdowns that he did have. All the others were definitely not there, man. 22 of 27 TDs scored inside the 5-yard line or less. So that's what I'm saying. The breakaway wheels aren't necessarily part of his game. While he can get to the outside, while he can make plays that way, also, he is likely going to be caught in the open field by faster linebackers or safeties, man. No game changer burst, and I'm saying it's not a big inhibitor because the accelerators are there. It's the game-changing shot out of a cannon burst you're looking for. I don't think Blake Corum definitely has that. He's got more than enough for the accelerators to get him into the open field. It's not the game-changing burst that you want to see, but that's okay. We're just going to sit here and say, it's good enough. Stop-start burst is in question because there is issues in it. Like I said in the pros, the pause and burst is there. It's just inconsistent. You want to see it more often than not. That's why it was kind of like a mind F for me, being like, can you do it or can you not do it? So I'm going to put it down here with a little bit of a caveat that I say he does pause his defenders and then he's able to burst around them, while the stop-start burst is definitely in question to be on the consistent trend. That's what I'll say about a Blake Corum at this point. Benefited, from a stellar O-line at Michigan. It was a huge helper for him, man. That O-line was just a beast, and they were able to open up lanes. They were very run-heavy under Coach Harbaugh, and I mean, this absolutely aided in Blake Corum's skill set in his game. They trusted him, and he did extremely well. So benefiting from an offensive line is not necessarily something that's a con, more of a statement to say, will he do this similarly with a weaker offensive line? There is question marks in that as well. Meek receiving stats, I did want to see more. While it's not terrible, we've seen other players do worse. I wanted to see a little bit more usage in the pass game, but I mean, that is definitely not what Michigan does. They like to run the football a lot rather than dumping down to their running backs. But I do think that, the receiving stats aren't an indication of his hands. I think his hands are very good, and I think he can absolutely be that guy trusted in the pass game in the NFL, man. Continued refinement in pass pro. I don't think he's terrible. I just think he can up it a little bit more, get better awareness on the blitz pickups, and you'll never leave the field, man. That is the biggest part of these running backs in the from college football to the NFL. Up your pass pro, and you will never leave the field. And I'm telling y'all, Blake Corum has the potential to be this very good quality 3-down back with a tandem approach in somebody's NFL backfield. But for grading purposes, I'm a Blake Corum fan, man, through and through. I think he is that good. I think, when you look at somebody with the feet movements, how quick his feet do move, he doesn't give up. His feet are always moving, always falling forward. It is good recipe for success, man. 78.5%. We do got Blake Corum today, and I think he's a very good talent. While I do like somebody like a Braylon Allen a little bit more, that's just personal preference and bias. I like running backs that are big-bodied, and then they can absolutely run down the field, where Blake Corum could be that, Swiss Army knife type of back that can be a 3-down back in this league as well. I think that he is quality, and I mean, like I'm saying, is there any elite running backs in this class? Probably not, but we got a lot of these backs that could carve out a long-term role for themselves here in the NFL. So there you have it. That is Blake Corum, Michigan Wolverine, true team leader, stout muscle hamster type of running back, no question. I do like his game. I think he is quality, like I'm saying. I think he's going to make a big impact on somebody's team, simply due in part to just his heart, man. He's one of these guys, the heart exudes out of him, and you can see it in his leadership capabilities. Love that about my players, because he is a grinder, and he's going to work hard to stay on the field. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are y'all thinking about Blake Corum? All you Wolverine natty, you got your natty and you're happy, so I know you guys are going to be happy about him. But anybody else, man, what do you think about Blake Corum? Drop it in the comments. We can always talk it out, but we'll see you next time. I am out.